This is in Judges. This is about Samson. And you can start with chapter 13 and go from there. But I'm going to hit some key points. And this one is from chapter 13. And it says on verse 5, "For lo, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and no razor shall come upon his head. For the child shall be a Nazarite unto God from the womb, and he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of Philistines." Verse 7, and he said unto me, Behold, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and now drink no wine, nor strong drink, neither eat any unclean thing, for the child shall be a Nazarite unto God from the womb until the day of his death, consecrated unto God. You can go and read to where also when Samson was born, the Spirit of the Lord began to move at him at times at the camp as well. Okay. And when Samson, he desired him a wife. And you can go and read to where in chapter 14, where Samson, he went up to his mother and father, and he said that he had seen a woman of the daughters of the Philistines. Now, therefore, go get him a wife. And his father and his mother said unto him, Is there never a woman among the daughters of thy brethren, or among all of thy people, that thou goest to take a wife of the uncircumcised Philistines? And Samson said unto his father, Get her for me, for she pleases thee well. So that leads me to say that Samson never wanted a woman among his kindred. He always wanted a girl, a woman amongst the Philistines. This is not the first woman that he's ever been with. He always wanted a woman amongst the Philistines. And so this is what his mother and father said. But the next verse says that his father and mother knew not that it was the Lord, that he sought an occasion against the Philistines, for at that time the Philistines had dominion over Israel. So his mother and father did not know that this is what the Lord had stirred up in him for him to do. And the thing I want to point out about Samson at that point is that all Samson can say is that she pleases me well. It's like the arrogance in him. I want to point that out. He's just arrogance, but a lot of times God will use things in people. Just keep that in mind. Also, you have to go and read everything that Samson, what happened with Samson and everything, because it's just kind of, along and everything like that. Go and read it, what happened with his wife and everything. So I want to get to the point where he met Delilah, basically. Before he met Delilah, he actually met a harlot. Okay? He met her. But I want to go back to his wife. First of all, his wife, when he met her, she also enticed Samson. I want to make that clear. She had attributes about her to where she enticed Samson concerning where's it at? Concerning the riddle that Samson had gave her people. And she kept on and kept on and kept on about it. And finally, Samson gave her the riddle. And you need to keep that in mind. Like what he did, it took 7 days. And she enticed him because for one, her people came to her about what to do. It was basically, he said unto them, out of the eater came forth meat, and out of strong came forth sweetness. And they didn't get it. But they told her to go to her husband and entice him, that they make declare unto them the riddle, that we burn thee in the Father's house with fire. So she did. And she was telling him that thou dost hate me, and thou lovest me not, to put forth a riddle unto the children of my people, and has not told it to me. So she would keep doing it, like kind of like every day, like she would weep before him, and she did that like for days, like on end. So that would literally tell you the character of what she was doing. Like she was doing it like all the time. Granted, they was threatening to kill her and her father. I mean, I'll give it like, you know what I'm saying? Like, granted, they were threatening to kill her. So with that being said, so he ended up telling her, and she went and told her people. Okay. And so it went on, and then with the next verse in chapter 15, it talks about how when Samson came back, that they gave Samson's wife to his friend. Well, basically, if you read in the first verse, it said, "But it came to a pass within a while later." If you actually look, Samson was actually gone for a like months, because it was like a wheat harvest. Like that's a month that Samson was gone before his wife was actually given away to one of his friends. So she was actually given away sometime later, not like right after you know what I'm saying? She was actually given away sometime after that, his visit wife. So it's kind of like he pops up and be like, "Hey, honey, I'm home." He pops up with this kid, and he's like, not a child, but, a goat, kid, and say like, "I will go into my wife's chamber," but the father would not let him go. And he said, "I thought you had hate her. Therefore, I gave her to thy companion. And is not her younger sister fairer than she?" And Samson wasn't hearing it, And you got to think about that. Like a lot of times, husbands abandoning their wives. You got that now, and they leave for months at a time. And that's technically what Samson did. He abandoned her. He left her, even though he did. He left her, and he was gone for some time. And the father gave her to someone else, and that's what happened. And Samson got mad because Samson wanted what he wanted, and that's the way how Samson was. But Samson was born to do what he was born to do. Keep that in mind. And that's what he did. And Samson went on his rampage and caught 300 foxes and did it together, and what I'm saying, and tied their, and put them together in 5 brands, and what I'm saying, and tied their tails together, and that's what he did. And just saying, so you got to go and look and see what he did. I'm just kind of like going through to get to a certain point. And they end up killing his wife, what I'm saying? They end up killing her and the father, burning them, killing everything. And you got to go and see where he did with the donkeys, the jawbone, killing all of them. But he escapes. He goes to Gaza, goes to the harlot. He escapes there. But then